There's a conflict brewing between Shanks and Luffy is oblivious to it. Spoilers up to chapter 1152. Shanks is like Mr. Miyagi and Luffy is like Danny LaRusso. Anytime he hears the name Shanks, he just loses it. Zoro is starting to catch on to this too. You might have to give Luffy the talk that Shanks is a fellow Yonko and that Luffy needs to turn the glaze down. Like he's being told that Shanks caught Loki and he's just so amazed. Here's the thing, Loki is very clearly being set up to be Luffy's good friend in this arc. I mean, it's clear as day. He wants Loki to be a Straw Hat. And he trusts Loki a lot. I would not be surprised if Loki does become a Straw Hat. Loki thinks of Shanks as a coward. He also says that they swept me under the rug, which implies that they knew he was innocent. Loki was a wanted criminal because of the incident 14 years back that he was blamed for. But we learn in this last chapter that he was completely innocent from the looks of it. It was Harold's own men that took him out, not Loki. Gabon did say that him and Shanks didn't have the full story, but I don't know if that's true for Shanks. Gabon sensed a strange hockey coming from the castle. I think that hockey without a doubt had something to do with the Abyss, which Shanks would undoubtedly be familiar with. Especially considering the potential reveal we got in this chapter that he used to have access to these powers himself. Shanks is also a man who likes to get the full story of his opponents before he fights them. The Herald incident happened 14 years back. Loki was captured 6 years back. That means Shanks had 8 years to get the full story. So I highly doubt that Shanks didn't have the whole story. But in my personal opinion, not Luffy's, I don't think that's that bad. Shanks' goal is to maintain the world's balance. If the public of Elbaf learned the truth of this incident that the world government was meddling here, it would not go over well. Like Carmel said, they would swear vengeance upon humanity. And Shanks would not only be maintaining the world's balance by framing Loki, but he'd also be maintaining Elbaf's forces because he may know that the final war is going to happen and that Nika is going to need the Giants' allegiance. Because which side the Giants pledge allegiance to will have a profound effect on this war. Maybe Shanks would try to explain this to Luffy that he's trying to maintain the forces of Elbaf, but I don't think Luffy would have any of that. Luffy would just boil it down to, you imprison my friend who is innocent. But, of course, I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways Oda can go with this. At the end of the day, we have to realize there's still so much to learn about Shanks. He is so mysterious. Kind of like Bogard Sensei. Here's an excerpt from One Piece Academy stating how mysterious Bogard is, and then there's conversations going on to this day about how mysterious he is. Here is it right here, the physical copy. Now, this is not canon, but I would like to think this is an indication that at least some people on the One Piece team think that Bogard is mysterious and that Oda will touch on this at a certain point.